connects. There we go. I'm gonna go check it on the computer.
Just on the whole, remember, be cool and play nice. I guess that's just a Vimeo thing. I wonder what the delay is.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you are, Carl.
It's just a Vimeo thing.
It's working.
Good.
It's working. We're live. We're all on our own as well.
Looking good, guys.
We can hear ourselves there.
You know, these white shirts are quite becoming
Yeah.
on video. Which is nice, although I hate seeing, it's really distracting. I looking at yourself here, I prefer just to see the comments,
Yeah.
if possible, but I can't really turn off the, maybe I can.
Hello, Amanda. Thanks for joining.
Oh, and Bill Shackelford, I saw Bill's deposit come in. Actually, I think Bill and I might have even been talking on email at some
Talking
point.
on email, yeah.
Yeah, I can't quite remember.
Jim,
Okay.
you like the shirts, Jim? Thank you. TT Martin.
Oh, Tom. Hey, Tom. Good to see Tom again. Or hear Tom.
Yeah,
To see. Gosh.
the regular guest. And Mickey. Quite a few people today. Very good. It's been a little while since we did the last one. Yeah.
You know, it's been a few weeks since we last did a
Yeah.
live stream. I think we've been super busy.
Mhm.
It has been, I mean, as everyone knows, the whole RV industry is booming at the moment, and you know, it's no exception for Escape. But I don't know, we just seem to be even so much more busy, and people are booking now for June, July, August of 2021 at this time, just to secure spots to make sure
Yeah.
that they that they get their trailer. But it's nice having the delivery options in place.
Yeah.
Has made it so much easier for people to sort of envision, order, or do the personal one-on-one with you guys.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right, get a good sense of what the trailer is going to be for themselves. It also helps set expectations, whichever way
Mhm.
your expectations were before you came to the video. It helps
Yeah.
sort of set expectations of things, and then obviously the configuration specialists are really amazing people, the Joldies and Lindas and Melissas
Yes.
and Samuels
And
at
Samuels.
times of the world.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, and they're great. And then the whole delivery process is just working exceptionally well.
Yes.
You know, I
yeah.
think in this whole delivery process we have had only two real incidents.
Mhm.
One, well, wonderful couple of people down in the North Carolinas area, Virginia area, who one of their windows broke. It was a real bad rainstorm, and their window broke while it was in the back of the transport trailer.
Yeah.
So we recovered that one really well. We just dropped it off at a local. We found a local RV sort of repair place. They were great. Dropped it off, sent the window down, got everything fixed up and cleaned up, and then they collected their trailer, which was wonderful. And then the other one was someone. Oh, we lost a couple of propane tanks
Okay.
on the back of the transport trailer.
Yes.
I think that was the only other real challenge we had. Otherwise, it seems to flow exceptionally well.
Yes. And how
And
many
these
did you
days
have?
they get
by
a little
now?
dirty on the trip,
Yeah.
but I mean, what can you expect?
Yes.
You know. And how many have we done? We've done. I mean, it was 100 trailers 2 weeks ago, so we must be up 130, 120, probably 120 trailers
Yes.
at this point that have gone out through the delivery process.
And so they are carried. They're not towed to you. What do customers need to do if they want to take delivery? Do they reach out to us? Do we reach out to them?
Yeah, so what I've done now is we've integrated delivery as really a large part of the ordering process. The idea that, you know, when someone is researching the trailer or considering to buy the trailer, that you're already thinking about delivery, because we have that special still on for the rest of 2020. Is that special those special delivery rates working through. And then as I move into 2021, we're going to revise it a little bit, because there are some things that I want to try and build in to the business and to the support system throughout the United States and Canada for our customers. So it'll change slightly, but it'll still be a great deal.
Yes.
It'll still be an absolutely awesome deal, especially over to the East Coast. Absolutely fantastic deal for people. So I think we're going to 23. So what we'll do here is Samuel and I are just we have a little bit of a cheat sheet that we kind of walk through with some of the items we want to talk about, particularly 2021 pricing release and options that we're going to have for 2021. They're not available for 2020. I won't even have them here by the time the late December bills are in process. We're just doing some more, sort of validating a lot of these things at the moment in the escapes. They've already been validated in other trailers or other areas, but we need to validate for escapes. So we're going to talk through that first, and then we'll start looking at any comments or questions that people have, and we'll answer as many of those as we can. I'm not too sure if the live stream captures all the comments. So worst case, if we don't get to answer your question, we will find a way to reach out to you and get that question answered. Okay, excellent. So we're just going to do a quick sort of review of some of the folks here. There's a shout out to you, Samuel, there from Craig and Ruth Brady.
Hello, Craig and Ruth. Yep.
Yeah. So actually, why don't I? You know what? Well, the way we do it at Escape was we kind of change tack a lot of times and just sort of get on with the present. So let's go reverse order, and I'll answer whatever questions I can very quickly to get it out of the way, and then we'll get into all the other stuff. So hello to Craig and Ruth Brady in Florida. And how many trailers do we make a week? We make 10 trailers a week, so it's 2 every day. How do you put your deposit in on a 23? That is coming very soon. More than likely, it's going to be a late September when we open up for pre-orders on the Escape 23. I'll talk a little bit more about that as we go through this process. We have some people from on the border of Indiana and Michigan. We got Olympia, Washington. We're not going to get too busy. We have bandwidth, and I brought on more people to help us. It's been actually really quite good. And those are the main questions, and we do like the shirts. Great. Okay, well let's move on. 2021. We got caught by surprise in 2020. I did not expect to sell out 2020 by the end of the first week of August. I really expected it to be the end of August, based on the trends that we had seen coming through, and then all of a sudden there was a huge run on orders, and 2020 got sold out in pretty much the first week there, which made a bit of a scramble to finish off the pricing for 2021, because we didn't really want people too disappointed on things. When we looked at the pricing, of course, we look at all the different factors that go into the pricing, including the exchange rates, and a lot of our products are brought up from the US, and then some of the price increases that have happened in some of the products as well. Some of those due to COVID and to sort of the transport issues and labor issues that people are seeing. So in general, we ended up doing a good comprehensive. We worked a lot of hours to make this happen, but a comprehensive review to make that happen, to get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. Everybody who placed our orders in between when we ran out of slots for 2020 and releasing the pricing yesterday, so we've contacted all of you. So if you haven't had an email from us, check your junk mail. If you haven't had anything in there, maybe it's been blocked by your spam provider, send us an email, and we'll personally get in contact with you. So we sent all those people out their own emails, because all of those people are on the wait list for 2020 slots. Even if they didn't ask for it, we still put them on the wait list. We figured it the right, because people were coming back saying, "Oh, I meant to go on the wait list. Can you please put me on it?" So we said, "Okay, put everybody on the wait list to be fair to everybody." And now we have people coming back saying, "Oh, I actually don't want to be on the wait list. Take me off of it." So that's all great. So you've all been contacted, and then everybody from yesterday onwards is in the standard process. But you're really only going to be 2021 bills at this stage. There is quite a lineup of people who want to get on the wait list or are on the wait list for 2020, and they want people too disappointed. So that's the 2020 waitlist part sorted. 2021 pricing is now,
it's online, so each unit has its own Build Your Escape trailer. If you go to our webpage, that drop-down menu trailers brings you to the 17, the 19, and so on. And little button, build your escape. You select that one. If you're in Canada, you select CAD. If you're in the US, you select US dollars. And from there, you build your trailer, and it will have the up-to-date prices.
Okay, so a quick sort of update on pricing. 2021 pricing for the US customers, base price stays exactly the same. No change to base price. 2021 pricing for Canadian customers is changing. So the Canadian customers get hit with essentially the exchange rate change that we've seen on average coming across to us on the US product. So the US Canadian pricing has gone up on the base. US pricing has stayed the same, and then across all the options, there are some that have stayed the same, and there are some that have simply increased. And I don't have the list of all of those that have changed, but the easiest way is to sort of jump online and do a build and compare it back to your prior build. It's not a massive change, I think, overall. When we group Canadians and Americans all together, and we look at all the options that people normally choose in these trailers, it's about 2.5% overall change, top end for that. So nothing massive, but still something in there. Now, 2020 versus 2021. 2020, everyone who's in 2020, of course, gets the 2020 all the benefits of 2020 pricing, and and also the other benefits that come with getting a trailer this year. 2021, you get obviously the new pricing plus a range of new options that are not available in 2020. So, there's a range of options, but some of those options that we're going to talk about. You can broadcast it.
You were going to go through the list. We will have a flash mount oven, the convection microwave oven. That's something that we previously did at more on a customized solution. We found that those ovens are bigger. They give you a bit more options when it comes to cooking, and we'll offer that as a validated option.
It used to be that, and they kind of preceded yourself and myself all those years ago, but it used to be that we would prepare the cabinetry for you to buy your own convection oven and install it, and it just seems a little bit silly. So because there are so many different sizes of convection microwave oven, so we kind of settled on a size now, and we're going ahead and we will install it for you. That makes life a lot easier, I think, for people. Convection microwaves are such a handy tool, such a handy cooking tool.
The other one is the composting toilet. So composting toilet will give you a bit more options in terms of saving your fresh water. The one we will be using is the Nature's Head. Is it called Nature's Head?
Yeah, Nature's Head toilet will be our composting toilet. Nature's Head is probably the most recognized out there. I am looking at alternates as well, but for now, Nature's Head toilet is the one we've priced based on, and the one we will be installing. And all the boaters out there will know exactly what that is.
Next one is the lithium battery. Lithium ion battery. I believe we have 2 vendors that we are currently looking into.
Correct, yeah. The reason I'm answering Samuel's looking at me is I tend to get involved more in the engineering and product development side of things. So lithium ion battery rather than batteries. So we're looking at a high capacity 12 volt battery to put in place. I have 2 different vendors. These are both high end, very good quality batteries. From what we've seen with customers, when they buy lithium batteries, they buy high end, good quality batteries. So that's exactly where I'm going. I have 2 different solutions that we're looking at, and we're just really trying to get an agreement in place. You're looking at price, we're looking at delivery, looking at support, and all these things. And we're kind of down to the nitty gritty on these last 2, and that'll be nailed down in the next week.
Right. The next one will be a Coleman Mach 10 air conditioning. So that will be a higher capacity air conditioning.
Yeah, we're looking at ideally we're looking at something that is lower noise and higher capacity. So two different things. We just have the air conditioning on, and here I think it's totally fine.
Yeah.
Some people are a bit more sensitive to noise, so we said, okay, well, let's go look at something else, and that is that one. One item that we jumped across here is I'm going to call it a digital tank leveling system or monitoring system. So that would be, instead of using the sensors, so we have 0 to 1/3 to 2/3 to full, you'd have a digital reading 0 to 100%.
So it's more finely.
More fine, yeah, finer sort of reading.
Okay, our next one is for the kitchen. We'll have a stainless steel backsplash. Then the table, there will be an option, the Lagoon swiveling table mount.
That's something that, I think the very first day I joined Escape, there were people asking about a Lagoon table mount.
Yes.
Which, for those of you who don't know, the Lagoon table mount essentially is there will be no legs underneath the table. It's a kind of a cantilever mount. It mounts off of one side and then comes across, and your tabletop sits on top of it. So a lot of people have been asking for that, 'cause the idea you can swing it out of the way,
right,
and then you have more leg space. And this 21 in E, that would be a beautiful. You create a tremendous amount of leg space for sitting around in. So William, my excellent engineer, is sort of designing and then developing the mounting system for the Lagoon swivel table mount.
And another one is the retractable wall hooks.
Retractable wall hooks is I should have brought one down. I didn't. I left it upstairs. So we have everyone's familiar with the Umbra hook, which is a brand name system. So we found something similar, and it's retractable wall hooks.
Yeah.
They're very nice, sturdy, sort of aluminum extrusion, and fold up really quite beautifully. And we're just looking at, we're going to make these up, obviously, so we're just looking at whether it's a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, and where potentially they sit in the different trailers. So we pretty much have selected the retractable wall hook. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what we want to put together as quantities in them, whether it's singles or doubles or whatever it might be.
And I assume we would still have them with the reinforced wall.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next one is for the 19 foot. We'll have an option there to put in 5 cubic feet compressor fridge. At the moment, I believe only for the 19.
Yeah.
Because that's what we start with, and this is a great feature if you're thinking of more boondocking. This would run on your batteries.
Yeah, compressor fridges are good for a couple of things. They take a lower 12 volt or lower voltage than your standard absorption fridge does when it's running on DC, and they're still not amazing, but they take a lot less, and they're good if you're traveling at altitude. The other things, they suffer less at that, and some people really want the compressor fridge. It's not a cheap option. They're expensive. At the moment, it's a direct replacement for our 5 cubic foot fridge in the 19, and William's just doing final validation on the other trailers to make sure it would fit, instead of the 6 cubic foot fridge, which people often downgrade from the 6 foot to the 5 cubic foot so they can put a microwave in above the 5 cubic foot fridge in like the 21s and the 19.
Previously we talked about the wood color, so currently we have oak and maple.
Yeah, we've oak and maple. I put this out last year on, I think, the forum and maybe even Facebook, which was a question to everybody, sort of saying, hey, what do you think about different wood choices? Of course, we also get lots of people asking us for different color choices inside the trailer. So we're trying to do a contemporary look. I don't know what contemporary means, but everyone keeps telling me you want to do a contemporary look. So I said, okay, well, it also means something to a lot of people. We'll do a contemporary look. And the general feedback from people is, majority is to go with a nice light color or a light color combination, so that you maintain the brightness inside the unit and a feeling of space. So that's not currently in the options list for 2021, not on the build sheet.
outside.
in detail yet, but we'll have that one nailed down in the next month or so. Got a chap coming in next week to take us through some of the options that we have. So the idea is it'll be a light sort of color. Maybe it'll be a combo grey, white, off-white sort of mixture, and then we got to make sure it blends in with the headliner. And stuff that we have as well. So that's kind of the interior design stuff. Of course, I'm colorblind, so I think, straight white, straight black, straight grey is great. It's all wonderful.
A question on the lead time. So customer who places a deposit now, what sort of time frame could he expect?
Well, you know the answer.
I know the answer. I know. So yeah, we're booking currently February, March. So there's two ways of looking at that. If you place a deposit, there's a little field that says notes. That's a good field to put in information such as if you would like to take delivery as soon as possible. Currently that would be about February, March. If you're thinking of picking this up maybe when the winter is over, then put something in like would like to pick up in June, for instance. This way we will build it in May, so we'll build it before you pick it up rather than way before and it sits here, which brings us to the questions of storage and storage fees. So if you build the unit just before you're planning to pick it up, then there's no storage fee. That's probably the ideal for everyone.
Yeah, I should talk about the storage, the storage side of things. So, I mean, you guys know we're increasing our productivity within the factory. So I'm working on getting us from 2 a day to 3 a day. That's my real goal. It's a big jump, going from two to 3. We could do it by throwing in a second shift, and we could easily go to 3 a day. But always a lot more difficult than it sounds, because everything else has to grow in order to get there. But we are moving there, and I am building inventory as well. So we're going to very quickly start running out of space, especially when the 23s come along. So it's like I need people to seriously think about their timing, and it's all this is just a game of timing. And right now, people have time to plan all of what's going to go on next year, in terms of being able to get it delivered or whatever it might be. So we give them 1 month free storage, and ideally, I'd like your trailer out of here, sort of within that month, sometime within that month. And it takes time for deliveries to get organized, trailers to get shipped and stuff. So we said, let's give everybody a month to get it sorted. If you've been waiting for 5 months for your trailer, you're going to want it pretty fast. So I said 1 month free storage, and then let's make it $235 US or 300 Canadian per month thereafter, and that'll encourage people to kind of organize their timing correctly to be able to collect their trailer or have it delivered. So that's where we're running to on the storage side. And I must admit, over the past, since, let's just say, May, the trailers are just going so incredibly fast off the lot, right? So I don't think it's an issue for anybody to be able to arrange their timing, get things organized, do it within the month. Things happen, so we'll deal with that when things happen to people. That's unfortunate, things happen. We'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis. But in general, organize your timing, get your trailer out of here within a month.
Perhaps a little update on the 23.
Escape 23. We are go on the Escape 23, as in we have finished the mold design. That took a lot longer than we anticipated it would take, but well worth doing. I want to get it right. I only want to do it once. You only get one crack at making molds. Molds are very expensive. You only get one real crack at doing this, so we wanted to get it right. And I must admit, William has done an excellent job designing the exterior, but also building in new features for us, as well as really a huge part is really a large part of what people don't see, which is the connection between the trailer and the frame, the chassis that's underneath, and everything that goes on underneath the trailer. So there are some very exciting developments coming out of the Escape 23. Our mold order has gone in. We expect those molds here in early November now, the best we can get from them. They'll come in early November. I'll be building that prototype in November. So it'll probably be November, very early December, by the time we get through that one. And then the plan is to start production in January of the Escape 23. It'll be a slow go to start off with, and then we'll start to speed that process up. It's a slightly different construction process, or assembly process, maybe is a better way of saying it, not construction. Slightly different assembly process to what we're doing here today. The product is what should we say, more designed up front and less designed by building, so more designed by engineering and with the modeling tools that we have. And Tom knows all about the modeling tools that we used, because we modeled up the front face of Tom's kitchen using those modeling tools, and that seemed to work really well, because Tom, you could see what we were planning to do to meet what you were looking for in that. So I'm very confident that we will have a beautiful Escape 23 in the 3 layouts we talked about, at least the 3 layouts.
Yeah.
Right, the twin beds, the centre bed, and then the east-west bed up the front. We're still trying to figure out how to do bunk beds. You know, there was one question we had, the most common question we had this year was bunk beds.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Bunk beds, composting toilets, and lithium batteries. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Was
Yes.
that Meatloaf?
Yeah, maybe.
You might not remember.
Meatloaf was a band, right? No.
Meatloaf, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
Band.
our communication
Around
there
one guy.
happens via email. So if you're not quite sure if we have your email, just send us one, and we'll make sure that your email is in our system, so that whenever Carl sends an update on the 23, that you are, the first to hear about it.
Yeah, for sure. It'll go out to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody will get an email on this one, unless they're unsubscribed, and then they won't. What else have we got, Samuel? Deposit?
Little heads up on the live streams. We will archive that as all the others, so feel free to go back to the recordings. I find them great to compare between different units.
Yeah.
You get about an hour to 2 of us working the units,
Yeah.
trying things out, and it just really helps to get an understanding of which of the floor plans work for you. And yes, thanks for all the feedback. It's always encouraging to hear people on the other line of the phone. Samuel, I know you, and I'm like, I don't know you, but it's
Well, I
nice
wish I
to have
did.
that relationship.
Yeah.
So very good.
I'm going to zip back to, is the body lift kit the same as the high axle? Yes, it is. And we changed the naming on that because we wanted it to be more descriptive of what it actually is. So the high axle lift, it doesn't lift the axle, it actually lifts the body off the axle. So we call it the body lift kit. That was one of Harrison's inputs to the whole thing.
Very good.
Because he has to explain it to people all the time on the one-on-ones.
Yes.
So that was good. A couple of questions here. One, do we have COVID in our community? Very little. Chilliwack as a community we're a little bit outside. We're outside of Vancouver, and our nearest town is Abbotsford, and that's 20-30 kilometers away from us. So we're kind of a little bit isolated in our own little area. And I think because we're so in the middle of the wilderness, it's so beautiful. So people tend to, when we go out and do things, we go out into the wilderness, so we're not necessarily congregating in big groups. So Chilliwack appears, at least from, my wife was at a doctor last week, and she asked her the question, and she said, no, we haven't seen much of it in Chilliwack. I don't know about deaths, but the caseload is quite low in Chilliwack, and we haven't had any at the factory here. Nobody at the factory, not a single person in the factory has had COVID. And lots have been tested for it. So that's us. Tom asking a question about the lithium battery. Can it be replaced? Can we? I'm guessing this means, can someone take out their 2 6-volt lead acids and put in the one probably 12-volt lithium battery? The answer is if you have yes, it will. Yes, and it will charge from the solar if you have obviously the solar charger system in place, which you would have had if you had solar. One thing we're checking, and this is a part of the decision making process in the batteries, is the shore power charging, and making sure that WFCO has the right motherboard in it to be able to charge the batteries. So there's a little bit of work. I'm not great on the electricals side of things, William is on it, and we're working with our vendors to nail this down. So Tom, I hope that answers the question for you there. Okay, brilliant. So any other questions that come up that I can't quite see here, we will go back and answer to you. So please feel free to email us at sales@escapetrailer.
Yeah.
And put the questions in.
There's one about the Coleman AC.
Oh, the Mac 10B, the NDQ model. Oh, I can't remember the number. I can't remember it.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll have to get back to you on that. My apologies there. I know William is dealing with that. But we will get you an answer on that. Actually, what I want to do, and Daryl's on the other end, so Daryl sort of will edit this and put things together. But what I want to do is we'll get all the options, and we want to put full specs on all the options and get them up on the web page.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone sees what these new options are and what the specifications are. They're going to ask us anyway, so we may as well get it up on the web.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. There's one more in here.
Different. Do you want to answer these questions, or are you waiting for me to read them and answer them?
No, I'm waiting for you.
The underbed access door. So Craig and Ruth, I'm not sure which on the Escape 19.
Maybe the one that.
Can the underbed access door be increased and gas struts? Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the actual thing. The answer is yes. The answer is yes to some extent. So Craig and Ruth, I would put that question to your configuration. If you have an order in, put that question to your configuration specialist, and they'll go back into production. They'll find out. There's a lot of custom work that we have done over the years. I don't know all of it.
Yes.
All right. So rather than say yes, I'd say let's put it back to the configuration specialist. They'll go to the production team, and they'll get an answer. And if the answer is if we can, we will.
Yeah.
Difference between the air conditioners. In theory, the Coleman is supposed to be quieter, but all manufacturers make claims, and then there's a certain subjectivity in your own hearing that needs to go with that. We could put a decibel, a meter, a sound meter, on there, which we will do once we have one installed. So we haven't installed one yet here. I guess we could just turn it on, but we want to hear what it sounds like inside the enclosed space of a trailer.
Yeah.
But we will get that to you, Bill, for sure. Can I add the AC with manual? Can I add the AC with manual controls and no remote thermostat? Yes. So if AC is added aftermarket, in other words, if AC is added after we've made the trailer, then the install would be with manual controls, always. I hope that answers the question. The step up into the dining area is because it accommodates the frame underneath, and the frame underneath is set up in a way because of the way the tanks sit to get clearance. Is it a tripping hazard? Only you can answer that. I can't. I haven't tripped over it, but that doesn't mean anything. It's would it be a tripping hazard to you? It's fairly visible for people. I think once you know it's there, you step over it. It's like when I was back in Ireland. I don't know what it was, but the house, my mother-in-law's house, had in one room had a really short door, like door into a very old sort of Victorian house, and the door into the kitchen was maybe 5'10",
Right.
5'11", or somewhere around there. And I'm 6'3", and I stoop anyway, so I would always hit that door as I went through, but everybody else was fine, and even taller people would scoop under it. So I think sometimes it becomes a personal thing.
Now that raise is more or less flush with the dinette itself, so usually I would think as you're walking towards the dinette to take a seat, that's probably when at least myself I kind of look down.
You kind of see it, right? Yeah, I've not tripped over it. Very good. Okay, guys. Well, the team here wants us to get moving and wrap up. So it's been great being in front of the camera again. I think we need to maybe do this some more.
Yeah.
Again. But thank you, everybody. Let's move on. We'll get 2020 sorted. Move on into 2021. If you're thinking about placing an order and you're watching this, I would suggest you seriously consider putting a deposit in, because things are booking up exceptionally fast. Just to give you an idea how quickly things are moving, we're booking almost a month, 3 weeks. We're booking pretty much, except for the exceptional week where we did over a month. We're booking pretty much 3 weeks of every month, every week. So this week we'll probably book another 3 weeks into next year. So just a heads up. And
maybe a little bracket here. You don't have to be ready with all your options. There's a lot of time. So if you put down a deposit that secures your production slot, for instance, if you're going March, you have all the way until 3 months before completion of that unit to lock in all your options.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So
yeah,
lots of time.
Okay, good. Come on, Hank, come over. Come on.
Thank you so much.
Come on. So Hank has been very good. He's very warm. Okay, camera's over there. Good boy. All right. There you go. Now, all right. Thanks everybody. Escape trailer built for you.